fishing for life, and today I'm going to change up the scenery a little bit and do this month's March lucky tackle box unboxing in the boat, just to get outside for a minute while it's nice. So we'll break right into this thing. And let's see what we got right here on top. So we have, first thing on top is a bait change alert. Says we were scheduled to receive a fish hound brush hog. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen production issues, the brush hog was not included. In place, we included an amazing product from David Dudley. The Sure Hookup Shaky Head. That's just a little disclaimer in there about that. So we'll open this other one up. Alright, well, automatically I can tell you it's something from Smart Baits. We have a Smart Bait sticker. We have the tackle guide, which I'll go through in a few minutes. So right here are those Sure Hookup Shaky Head hooks. Those look pretty cool. They got like two little antennas on them right here that make it stand up, but also allow it, I guess, to kind of bounce. And good looking lure keeper on there. It says designed for finesse worms, crawdads, lizards, sinkos, grubs, and tubes. So as I'm just getting into shaky heads, those will be pretty cool to try. Next is a set of Katana EWG hooks, extra wide gap hooks. Then we have, I don't know what LW stands for. I'll find out when I go through the guide, I guess. But it's some kind of a wipey, I'm assuming. Then we've got the, let me see, this little fish from Knockout Bait Company. Look, I guess it's supposed to be like a small bass or brim or something. Feels really heavy. Like it feels probably like a 1 ounce lure or so. 1.5 ounce. It's called the Sucker Punch. It's not your typical cast and retrieve bait. Let it go to the bottom and rip it up, letting it flutter back down. Repeat this during the entire retrieve. Also an excellent vertical bait. It's heavy, gets to the bottom quick, and perfect for jigging. So basically it's a jigging rattle trap with a spinner on the back. That's pretty much all it is. Then next from Bagley we have a shallow balsa minnow. Sweet, because that is in the color they like to bite around here. So it says to neat lip design creates a shallow running bait that allows you to fish it in skinny water over cover and laydowns. This bait weighs 1/4 ounce and will dive 3 to 5 feet. Very retrieve with twitches and pauses. GoPro fell over back there. Next we have Cabin Creek Express bugs. These are some pretty neat looking bugs. The feelers on them. Take one out real quick. The feelers on them are pointed so that they, I guess they kind of cut through the water, is what I guess this style bait does. So those are pretty neat. Then we have all my favorite lures, rage tails. So these look like a rage tail lizard. Let's go ahead and pull one of those out. I've caught some of my best fish on rage tails. That's why they're my favorite. So this is just a little rage tail lizard, and it's got a really long tail on it, which I like. So that tail is probably a good, you know, stretched out, probably a good 2.5, 3 inches long all the way to this tip down here. So I really like that. That really strong coffee scent. It That's another reason I like them. So those look pretty neat. And then, last but not least, we have those smart bait, color changing baits. And I got them in some Senkos finally. It's the first time I've gotten them in Senkos. The last 2 times I've gotten them in grubs. But I really like these. They do change colors pretty rapidly in the water around here. So be really excited to try those. But we'll pack this back up and go through the tackle guide real quick. Alright, so in this month's tackle guide, talking about the Lucky Tackle Box Bass Fishing Tournament, March 15th to the 31st, $5 entry. Top 1 to 50 win prizes. Cool, I might get in on that. Alright, first in line is the Bagley Bait Company's Shallow Balsa Minnow. It's a mid-depth minnow. Riprap, points, humps, ledges, and open water. It says best using on a 7-foot to 7-foot 2-inch medium fast rod. Cast King 6.3 to 1 bait caster and 10 to 12 pound fluorocarbon. Says you use this across those main points and secondary points as it's a prime feeding time during the spawn. Good to throw for searching for bass. Good to return there multiple times throughout the spring and catch fish moving into these areas. So it's a good fish finding bait. A good bait to search with. Then we have what was supposed to be the brush hog, which they could not include this time. So I won't even go over that. The Smart Bait Smart Bomb. That's the Senko Smart Bait, color changing. Covers all water depths and covers all types of structure. It may look like a simple bait, but it's incredibly versatile. You can fish the bait weightless and weedless, letting it fall into holes and vegetation without fear of getting hung up. Fish it Nico rig with a nail weight in the head, an O-ring, and a straight shank hook. Fish that down to 50 feet in some California reservoirs. Okay. So then next we have the Cabin Creek Express bug, which was that little pointy bug that I showed you. And it says to fish that on the bottom at any depth. Grass, tools, reeds, brush piles, and mats. So mainly around grass or real light vegetation. Perfect bulky jig trailer that gives an appearance of a big meal, difficult for bass to resist, the back of the jig being dragged along the bottom. Try pairing similar colors, brown jig with a brown or green pumpkin trailer. If you aren't getting bit, use contrasting colors, like a brown jig with black and blue trailer. It says to fish it on a 7.4 to 8-foot heavy casting rod. And 65-pound Seaguar flipping braid is what it recommends. So a pretty heavy braid. Next is a Strike King Rage Lizard. Oh, let me see. Of course, it's bottom. It's the same as the last one. Grass, tools, reeds, brush piles, and mats. 7-foot to 7.6 medium heavy or heavy casting rod, 6.3 to 1, and 12 to 15 pound fluorocarbon. So no braid on this one. As we start to get in March, April, and May, sometimes June and even January down south, bass start to move into their spawning areas, which yes, they've started here. Lizards an ideal bait to rig up on a Texas rig and flip around shallow mats or common areas for spawning. Lizard looks like the kind of thing that would eat baby bass or disturb the rhythm of the bass spawn. Hop and drag across bedding areas and hold on. So basically, in your spawning areas where you want to throw that. The knockout bait, the little minnow rattle trap looking bait, says to fish on the bottom and humps, ledges, riprap points, and rocks. 7 foot to 7'4" medium casting. 15 to 17 pound fluorocarbon. Oh, this is not a cast and wind bait. In fact, it will not run true if you just reel it back in like a lipless crankbait. With the sucker punch, you need to use the lift and drop retrieve in order for the bait to have the right action, more like a blade bait or spoon. You can fish it vertical, but you can also cast it out and use short hops, popping your rod tip upward and then letting it fall back again. So basically just jigging it on the bottom, or using the ripping method, just ripping it back up off the bottom and letting it fall back down to a slack line. So in here they have some top 6 fishing superstitions. Catching a fish on the first cast is bad, they're saying is bad luck. That's a superstition. This is the kiss to death for anglers. You get on the water at 6 a.m. and you sail a beautiful cast and boom, first cast, first fish, then nothing for the rest of the day. Which I can tell you is not true. As a matter of fact, I usually catch more fish if I catch one on the first cast. I guess it's a confidence booster or something, but I would say that's a myth. Always wear your lucky hat. Like baseball players don't change their socks during a winning streak, fishermen are notorious for claiming their hats are what brought them a big day on the water. I can't say that's true because I don't wear hats a lot. Kiss or catch. The Irish believe that kissing the Blarney Stone will bring good luck, but anglers have something similar. If you really want to make sure you catch a limit, plant a big old kiss on that bass, Jimmy Houston style. No thanks. Don't whistle while you fish. It's also a long-held superstition of mariners going way back. It is said that whistling would stir up the wind and bring about a storm. Apparently it can also get you eaten by a great white. Quint should never have been whistling on the orca in Jaws. Always release your first catch. Never keep the first fish of the day. Many anglers are catch and release nowadays, but if you're one to keep a few for dinner, don't make it the first fish. Always let that guy go or you'll have bad luck. I don't ever keep bass, so I can't say anything for that. No bananas. Now this is one I do believe. This is definitely the #1 superstition of modern fishing. Some guys will kick you off the boat fast for having a banana in your lunchbox. Many believe this comes from shipwrecks going back to the 1700s, discovered with cargo loads of bananas floating nearby. Do not attempt fate and leave the bananas at the store. I do actually believe that one. Believe it or not, because it's weird, because you can have somebody that can catch a whole bunch of fish, and I have literally been able to see them catch fish all day. Somebody gets on their boat with a banana in their lunchbox or something, and they quit catching fish. It's weird. So that's about it. There's a few tips in the back talking about question and answer, but I'm not going to go through those. But that's it for this month's Lucky Tackle Box, and I hope you guys are okay with the change of scenery for this month. May be back inside next month, but who knows, I could be doing it somewhere else. So thank you guys for watching. As always, please like and subscribe, and leave any comments or questions below. I'll be sure to get to them. This weekend I will be at the Bassmaster Classic, so if you're out there, stop by and say hi. I will be carrying this camera around. So if you see the guy with a black Nikon camera and a big camera rig, that's me. So stop by, say hi, and who knows, you might get featured on my channel if you stop by at the right time. I'm doing a video or something. We'll be speaking with a bunch of the pros, I hope. Just depends on how many are kind of at the expo walking around. Know some of them are going to be fishing in the Classic I'd like to speak to, so those will have to wait till a later date. But those that I catch, I will try to get interviews with. And if there's somebody that you want me to interview and try to catch at the Classic, leave it in the comments below, please, and I will try to make that happen. So again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.